You ever have one of those moments? You know the kind I'm talking about. You're moving through life, everything's familiar, comfortable, even the chaos. And then, bam, something happens. A realization, a decision, a truth. And in that moment, you know this changes everything. It doesn't ask your permission, doesn't knock politely on the door of your plans. It just waltzes in, kicks its boots off, puts its feet up on the table of your life and says, we're doing things different now. Now, maybe it's love, maybe it's loss, maybe it's one of those quiet, middle of the night thoughts that hits you like a freight train, but one way or another, the road you were on, gone. That map you drew, useless. The compass, spinning. And you're standing there barefoot on the edge of a cliff, looking at a brand new horizon. Scary? Sure, but also kind of beautiful. See, change gets a bad rap. Folks treat it like it's the villain in the story. But the truth is, change is just honesty in motion. It's the moment the universe stops whispering and starts talking plain. This isn't who you are anymore. This isn't what you want. This isn't the life you promise yourself. And when that moment comes, when you finally stop running from it and sit down across the table from change, pour it a cup of coffee, and ask it, all right, what do I need to know? That's when the real shift happens. You start listening. And when you listen, you learn. And when you learn, you grow. And when you grow, you become. That's the beauty of it, right? The becoming. We're not fixed. We're not meant to stay the same. We're built to evolve, like rivers carving canyons. Slow, relentless, breathtaking. So if you're standing in one of those moments right now, if the world feels sideways and you can't see the next step, don't fight it. Don't try to duct tape the old life back together. Let it fall. Let it break. Let it change. Because maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of the road. Maybe this is the beginning of the one you were always meant to walk. This changes everything. And thank God it does. Change isn't the enemy, it's the invitation. Most people treat change like it's something to avoid, like it's the thunderstorm that rolls in to ruin the picnic, the crack in the sidewalk that trips you up, the phone call in the middle of the night that turns your world upside down. We brace for it. We fear it. We pray it holds off just a little longer. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if change isn't the thing that comes to destroy us, but the thing that comes to wake us up? See, life doesn't hand out neatly wrapped answers. It hands out experiences. Some are gentle, some rattle your bones. But if you look close, tucked inside each one, especially the hard ones, is an invitation to shift, to learn, to leave behind what no longer fits. And the folks who thrive, they're not the ones who dodge change. They're the ones who open that invitation and show up. Think about it. Every time you've grown, every time you've stepped into something better, wasn't it because something changed? Maybe it was uncomfortable. Maybe it was messy. Maybe you fought it tooth and nail, but deep down, you knew something wasn't working. You outgrew that job, that relationship, that version of yourself. And the universe, in its own wild and unruly way, held out a hand and said, come on, there's more. But here's the deal. Invitations don't always come in gold envelopes. Sometimes they come disguised as loss, as failure, as endings. They show up wearing the clothes of heartbreak or disappointment. And in the moment, it feels like you're being punished, like life is pushing you down. But what if instead it's pulling you forward? That's where courage comes in, because accepting the invitation of change doesn't mean you have it all figured out. It just means you're willing to take the first step. It means you trust that there's something better on the other side of the discomfort. It means you're choosing to believe in possibility, even when the path is foggy and unfamiliar. Now, that doesn't mean it won't hurt. Change can break your heart. It can stretch you thin. But pain isn't always a sign something's wrong. Sometimes it's just a sign that something old is leaving, so something truer can take its place. Growth aches, becoming costs, but staying stuck costs more. People spend whole lives avoiding change, chasing stability like it's the ultimate prize. But stability without soul, without purpose, without growth, that's just a comfortable cage. That's a version of life where you survive, but never live. And we weren't built for that. We weren't built to coast. We were built to evolve, to get our hands dirty, to dig into the hard parts and come out the other side with scars that tell a story. So the next time something shifts, when the ground trembles and the familiar falls away, pause. Don't panic. Don't sprint back to what's safe. Instead, take a breath. Ask yourself what's being invited in. Ask what's trying to emerge. Because maybe the storm isn't there to knock you down. Maybe it's there to wash away what's no longer real. Change isn't chaos. Change is the conversation. Change is the knock at the door. And when it comes, however it comes, it's not the enemy. It's the invitashi. We're not here to stay the same. We're here to become. That's the whole point, isn't it? It's life, this wild and unpredictable ride. It's not about locking ourselves into a single version of who we are and trying to freeze frame it. It's about motion. It's about transformation. It's about answering the quiet, persistent call that says, there's more to you than this. Keep going. But somewhere along the way, we bought into this myth that staying the same means we're stable, dependable, strong. That consistency is the measure of character. That if we change, if we evolve, rethink, reimagine, or rewrite parts of ourselves, we're being inconsistent, flaky, or lost. The truth is, staying the same might feel safe, but it's not growth, it's not living, and it's definitely not becoming. Becoming is messy. It's a process, a dance between who we were, who we are, and who we're meant to be. It means letting go of the old stories, the outdated versions of ourselves we've been dragging behind us like shadows. It means giving ourselves permission to shift, to outgrow, to rise. Not because the past was a mistake, but because life keeps moving and we're meant to move with it. Every experience shapes us. Every heartbreak, every risk, every late night truth and early morning doubt, they all carve into us. And if we let them, they don't leave us hollow, they leave us real. They make us more. And the more we become, the more we realize how little we knew before and how much possibility still lies ahead. There's beauty in that, in becoming. It's not about chasing perfection. It's not about achieving some fixed destination where everything finally makes sense and stays that way. No, becoming is about leaning into the questions, into the uncertainty, into the work of uncovering what matters most, not just once, but again and again, because what matters changes, and so do we. The world around us doesn't stay still. Seasons change, people change, circumstances shift. So why should we be the exception? Why should we be statues in a landscape that keeps evolving? If you're the same person you were 5 years ago, that's not proof of consistency. That's a sign you've stopped listening, stopped learning, stopped growing. We weren't made to live on autopilot. We were made to get curious, to dig deep, to ask better questions and chase better answers, to wake up every day and ask ourselves, is this still true for me? Is this still who I want to be? And if the answer is no, then it's not a failure, it's an invitation to pivot, to shift, to stretch into something new. Becoming means stepping into the unknown with a little courage and a lot of heart. It means trusting that there's something worthwhile on the other side of change, even if you can't see it yet. It means refusing to be defined by the old chapters when you still have blank pages to write. You're not a finished product. You never will be. That's the magic. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to question your past choices, to rewrite your beliefs, to trade survival for joy. You're allowed to move toward what sets your soul on fire, even if it looks different than what you once wanted, especially then. Because this life, this one precious, fleeting life, isn't about staying the same. It's about becoming over and over again